Very, very exciting. I was Chris's pastor to preach a funeral in which I don't have to lie. It's probably my first funeral where I get to say all the truthful stuff, and that's because we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Chris was a child of God, is a child of God, faithful husband, wonderful father, great friend, brother. Chris is strong. Chris is energetic. Chris always has ideas. He's an encourager. He's a motivator. But one thing Chris is not, he is not in a wheelchair anymore. And that is very, very exciting. One time during service, I was on the piano and we're having praise and worship and the lights, going and everything. And I see Chris at the back in his wheelchair, and his wheelchair was starting to act up. It was like going forward and back and forward and back. And I thought, oh no, what's happening? So one of our ushers went over to him, and Bob went to him and said, Chris, what's wrong? Is your wheelchair okay? Chris said, I'm dancing. But now he's really dancing, not in the wheelchair. He's really dancing. He's probably dancing like a white guy with no rhythm, but he's dancing nonetheless. So that's cool. I remember being at Chris's house a while back, and he always had a sense of humor. And I was noticing his tennis shoes, and I'm a shoe kind of guy. And I said, man, you got some nice tennis shoes. These things look brand new. And he chuckled. He said, well, one of the blessings, I've had these for years. One of the blessings is my shoes never wear out. And I didn't get it at first, but like 5 minutes later I laughed, and it was great. So anyway, Chris is an amazing man, and we're honored to be here today to celebrate his life. Another thing Chris is not in pain anymore. And that's because Revelation 21 says the streets are pure gold. God will wipe away all tears, and there will be no more death, no more crying, and no more what? Pain. No more pain. No more pain. And let me add to that, there'll be no more taxes. There'll be no more COVID. Where is that? There's no COVID. There's no Democrats or Republicans. Our Republicans, we're not going to be separated up there. There's no slow drivers from North Carolina up in heaven at all. There's no sickness, no sorrow, no pain, no crying, and he is up there having a blast right now. And a lot of people, when things like this happen, they immediately go to the kids and they say, oh, he's in a better place. And so I kind of wanted to spend 5 minutes just encouraging Alethea and Caleb, because my heart is for them, amazing kids, and y'all can listen if you want to. But, people come to them and, oh, he's in a better place, and he's at peace, and that kind of thing. And when people say that, I want to say, well, give me proof. Give me proof, right? Have you been there? Do you know? Have you talked to somebody that's there? And the truth is, I have proof. I haven't been there, but I've talked to somebody that has been there, that is there. In fact, I've talked to somebody even today, the guy that actually built the place. Genesis 1:1 says God created the heaven and the earth. So if earth is real, then heaven is real. Because the same book teaches us about both. The same God created both. In fact, 70 times in the book of Matthew alone, Jesus mentions heaven. 54 of the 66 books of the Bible mention heaven. So how do we know that Chris is there, though? How do we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Chris is in heaven? Easy. Ephesians 2:8 says, by free grace you are saved through faith. It was nothing you did, but a gift from God. All the good things that Chris did in his life is not why he's in heaven. And bad things is not why people go to hell. Nobody goes to heaven for doing good things. Nobody goes to hell for doing bad things. They're in hell because they did not receive this free gift. Chris is in heaven because we know he received this free gift. And I have proof because the fruit of his life shows that he was a servant of Jesus Christ. Nobody can get through what he went through in the 20 years of physical and mental pain. Nobody can do that without Jesus living in their heart. Nobody can do that. When I have a cold, I don't want to be nice to anybody. Like, I just sit in my room and do nothing. To be in the predicament that he was in and still be such a faithful man, such an encourager, great father, that is only by the grace of God in his life. That's only by. So when did Chris actually go to heaven? He went there immediately. Jesus told the thief on the cross, Luke 23:43, I promise that today you'll be with me in paradise. The very millisecond he left this earth, he was in heaven. There was no waiting around like that movie Ghost or nothing like that. He went straight to be with Jesus. And so I wanted to encourage the kids. So what does your dad look like in heaven? He's still white. The Bible says in Revelation 5:9, every tribe, language, people, and nation, we keep our ethnicity. So I didn't know if you were worried about that or not. Your dad's still. Now I was guessing if he got to heaven and Jesus is like, what do you want to be? I'm guessing he'd say Jamaican. I don't know why I think that. I could see Chris with dreads, surfing, singing Bob Marley songs, but he's still white. So what is his body like? Philippians 3:21 says God changes our weak mortal bodies and makes them like his own glorious body. Jesus in his resurrected body, before he went to heaven, in his resurrected body, he talked, He walked, he ate food. Chris is eating food. Jesus walked through walls in his resurrected body. So I don't know if there's doors in heaven or not. If there is, they don't need them because they can walk through walls. Jesus traveled at the speed of thought. Chris is able to travel at the speed of thought right now. Here's another question. Can Chris see what's going on? Because people say that. They say, oh, your dad's watching you.